What is going on, guys? It's your boy Jay, and at this point, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have been out for a month, and even though I am having fun with the games, there is a couple things about them that I feel fall a little bit flat for me. So, what better way to vent about it than to make a video, right? Right. So with that said, let's get into it. Alright, so let me preface this first by saying again that I like these games. I'm a big fan of these games. I have like 60 plus hours in my off-screen playthrough. I have about 30 plus hours in my Nuzlocke playthrough that I'm doing on the channel right now. So this is all just a little bit of fun with no ill intent, a little bit of critiquing, you know, just a lot of just some fun stuff. All right, don't take it too personal, anything I say, if you love these games. So with that disclaimer aside, let's get into what I dislike about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now right off the bat, admittedly, I thought these games were gonna at the very least use the Platinum Pokedex. If not the Platinum Pokedex, then at least add some new mons to the region from the original games, because the original games were lacking in many areas. The original games literally had one fire type through the entire game, two if you chose Chimchar, but other than that, there was only two fire types. So these games definitely needed to have a little bit of a stronger Pokedex presence pre-National Dex. Playing through the game, both as a Nuzlocke and as a traditional run, I realized that for my Nuzlocke, many of the routes had the exact same Pokemon as previous routes, plus or minus one, so it was really hard for me to go and get new encounters on every new route, because I'd go to a new route, and it'd be like, alright, well, 4 of these Pokemon are dupes, so I can't catch those, and the 5th Pokemon is my only encounter. And for my off-screen traditional playthrough, I found it really hard to build a team of Pokemon that I haven't already used in playthroughs of previous games, which is a habit I've gotten into with the intent of using different Pokemon from my default favorites. Now, the addition of the Grand Underground and Hideaways, that was a great way to add in Pokemon outside the regional decks, but even then, the selection down their pre-national decks is very limited. And while I'm on the topic of the Grand Underground, let's talk about my next dislike about the game, secret bases. Now in BDSP, you can only decorate your secret base with the statues you find while mining. However, in the OG Diamond and Pearl games, your base was fully customizable with all kinds of furniture like tables, TVs, couches, computers, Pokemon dolls, Pokemon plushies, rugs, etc, etc. Now, as much as I do love the statues and mining for them, the fact that they're the only form of customization for our bases feels really lackluster. Now, before, you could make your base feel completely unique and personal to your own taste, but with bases in BDSP, I feel like I'm walking into some ancient Chinese emperor's terracotta mausoleum, or like the lair of some evil Medusa-like creature, and it really takes the fun out of discovering others' bases, because everyone's base, for the most part, looks the exact same. Now, shifting away from the Grand Underground and secret bases, my next gripe about the games comes a little bit back full circle to the first problem that I think the games have, which is a lack of Pokemon, because the gym leaders and the Elite Four, a lot of them don't even have full monotype teams. For example, the worst defenders, Volknor and Flint, half of Volknor's team, the electric type, heavy on the air quotes for electric type gym leader, isn't even electric type. He has 2 electric types, Raichu and Luxray, and then he has a water type, Octillery, and a normal type, Ambipom. And Flint, the fire type Elite Four, fire type, again, very heavy on the fire type for this guy, only has 2 fire types out of 5 Pokemon. That is like 20%. Majority of his team are not fire Pokemon. How is he the fire type specialist?
How, Sway?
Now, had they at the very least bolstered the region's Pokedex with a few more Pokemon, you could have threw like 50 more Pokemon from throughout the generations, then this sad attempt at calling these 2 type specialists wouldn't feel like such a bad joke without a punchline. And now I understand these 2 not having full monotype teams makes their battles a little bit more complex to navigate, but there's still plenty of dual type Pokemon within their type specialties that they could have had to achieve the same effect. With a slightly expanded regional dex, Flint could have had Turtonator or Colossal with Steam Engine to help cover for his water weaknesses, and Rotom Heat or Talonflame for his ground weaknesses. Volkner could have had Emolga, Galvantula, any of the 5 4 or 5 Rotom forms. Could have had Lantern or Arctozold. Totally forgot about Electros, which is ironic because it's one of my favorite Pokemon and definitely would have been a Nuzlocke ender for a lot of people. But yeah, anyways, go off, Queen. To cover for his only weakness in the ground type. Like, the fact that Volkner doesn't even have a single Rotom on his team is complete bonkers to me, considering Rotom is one of the most casually and competitively impactful electric types to have come out of Gen 4. And don't even think I forgot about Candice with her one Medicham. Now, all jokes aside, I'll give Candice a pass, since 75% of her team is Ice type, so at the very least, the majority of her team is Ice, and at least Medicham is there to stop you from bringing in fighting types and rock types to just automatically roll through her. But again, there's Pokemon that she could have had on her team that are Ice type that could have done the same thing that the Medicham did, right? Now, even though all of the other gym leaders do have full mono type teams, there is still another nitpick I have with all of the other gym leader teams, or at least with majority of the gym leader teams in Sinnoh, and that's the fact that a lot of their teams do not have Pokemon introduced in Sinnoh, even though there are several Sinnoh Pokemon that would fall perfectly under their type specialization and could easily replace the non-Sinnoh members of their team. Take Crash Awake, for example. Instead of giving him Gastrodon, for some odd reason they gave him Quagsire, which is the exact same typing as Gastrodon. Now, I get that Gastrodon evolves at level 30, so maybe they didn't want to give him 2 level 30 Pokemon, but then again, it's perfectly fine to give him 2 level 30 Pokemon because he comes after Maylene, and her highest Pokemon is level 30. So he should, at the very least, have a level 30 Gastrodon and maybe a level 32 Floatzel to make the level scaling make a little bit of sense in this game. Now, since I just mentioned Maylene, let's go back and look at her team. Her only Sinnohmon is Lucario. That's sad. That's very sad, considering the fact that Croagunk is right there. Toxicroak is right there. If they didn't want to give her Toxicroak because she is early in the game, that's a strong mon to give her. They could have gave her Croagunk as her first Pokemon, Monferno to replace her Machoke because Monferno is a second stage Pokemon, so she could have easily had Croagunk, Monferno, and Lucario. Instead, we get a Gen 3 Pokemon, Meditite, and we get a Gen 1 Pokemon, Machoke. Where is the Sinnoh representation here? Now, Rourke, I'll cut Rourke a little bit of slack because a lot of the rock type Pokemon in Sinnoh are fully evolved. You have Rhyperior, you have Probopass, and you have Bastiodon. But still, even then, I think they could have given Rourke a little bit more Sinnoh Pokemon. For his first Pokemon, they could have given him a Bonsly, or even a Rhyhorn, or a Nosepass, considering those do evolve into Sinnoh Pokemon. And then his second Pokemon, depending on your version, it either would have been Shieldon or Cranidos. And then his last Pokemon, again depending on your version, would have been the opposite from his middle Pokemon, but it would have been stronger. So if he had Cranidos in Pearl as a second Pokemon, he would have Shieldon as his last Pokemon as the strongest Pokemon, right? Now, I get that they were going for faithful remakes, but they could have switched up the aspects a little bit to modernize the game, bring it up to a little bit of a modern game standard, you know? Like I said, add a little bit more Pokemon in the decks just so that at least the players have a little bit more to work with, and the gym leaders and the Elite Four have a little bit to work with. But yeah, that basically covers all of my major dislikes with the game. So this next section is going to be a rapid fire, more smaller nitpicky things that I didn't think really needed a whole paragraph to explain why I dislike them. So starting right at the top, they removed the battle info UI for checking the stat raises, stat drops, terrain effects, etc. that they used to have in Sword and Shield. And even though these games aren't really focused on competitive, the feature is still very useful for casual play. Like, there's a lot of times I'll look away from the screen and I'm not sure if my opponent just hit me with a charm to lower my attack or a sand attack to lower my accuracy, and I can't check that because they removed the battle info UI, and I don't understand why. It's such a useful feature. Movement is janky as hell. Using the D-pad feels slow and clunky, and using the thumbstick is clumsy and hard to navigate certain areas, so you're stuck doing sometimes you have to use a D-pad, sometimes you have to use a thumbstick to get through certain areas, but neither of them really feel like they're working properly, and it's just a little bit awkward to move around certain areas of the game. The game, up until the Elite Four, is pretty much a cakewalk. Barry, your rival, has a Starly Let me say that again. Barry has a Starly until like the 4th or 5th gym, at which point I think he only gets a Staravia. And I know it's not the 4th gym because I clearly remember fighting him after the 4th gym and he had a level 26 Starly. I wanted to reach in my screen and damn near slap the man. What are you doing? What are you doing? The shiny charm only affects breeding and not wild encounters, which is really baffling to me. Now I kind of think this is a bug with games, or maybe it's just us reading the data mine incorrectly or something. But you know, as far as we know, them's the facts. Them's the facts, folks. Shiny charm does not work unless you're breeding eggs, which is stupid choice. Stupid choice. Another stupid choice. They give you access to Sneasel. They give you access to Gligar, the Rhyhorn, Duskull, all of these Pokemon that have Sinnoh forms that they can evolve into, but they don't give you access to the items to evolve these Pokemon until after the Elite Four. What am I gonna do with a Sneasel for the entire game up until Cynthia? What am I gonna do with a Gligar until the end of the game? What am I gonna do with a Duskull or a Rhydon without an Eviolite? Add that in there. Without an Eviolite, what am I supposed to do with these Pokemon? Just have them willy-nilly chilling with me? Being the weakest link in my party? Makes no sense. Why did you lock those items behind the game? Or behind the end game? Those are some of the coolest Pokemon too. I love Weavile. I love Gliscor. Mamoswine has been growing on me. I mean, I think I can use Mamoswine. Cut Mamoswine. But the other Pokemon, I love them. Why did you lock their evolutions behind the Elite Four? I'm mad. I'm mad, Game Freak. Why you do this? Why you do me like this, huh? Alright, and last, but definitely not least, the most egregious offense of the entire video, of the entire game. This might be the most egregious offense Pokemon has done since Sword and frickin' Shield, alright? God damn it, I know how to catch a Pokemon, Don. Game Freak, ILCA, Masuda, Nintendo, whoever else I need to blame for making this scene not skippable, this scene that we're watching right now, whoever I have to blame for this, I'm putting the blame on them. I know how to catch a Pokemon. I've been playing Pokemon since Red, Blue, and Yellow. What is that, 23 years? 20 years? Something crazy like that? I've been playing Pokemon since the games came out. Before the games were even in color. Before the games were in multiple colors. I don't know why they wouldn't just make this a skippable thing. They should have had Dawn come up, be like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to catch a Pokemon. Do you know how to catch a Pokemon? And you're like, yeah, don't worry, I got it. I'll figure it out or something. I don't know. They should have made this skippable. They made it skippable in Sword and Shield. I don't understand why they didn't do the same for these games. Like, I get the whole Super Faithful remakes, but there's things. They did certain things, quality of life improvements to make these games modern. But then there was some that they just said, we'll leave that in. We'll leave it in like the old days, like the 12 years ago with the original games. No. I never again ever want to tell, I never want to again have anyone tell me, ask me, show me how to catch a Pokemon in a Pokemon game. I know how. I know, okay? I know. I get it, okay? Whew. Alright, well, with that, folks, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Before I go, though, just remember, please remember, this was all for fun. This was all just, you know, some constructive criticism. I love these games. I'm having fun with them. I'm not hating on the games. The games are, you know, like I said, I don't want to say they're good. They're not perfect, obviously not. They're far from perfect, but they're enjoyable to me. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue to have fun with these games up until Arceus Legends, and probably even after Arceus Legends. Legends Arceus. I keep calling it Arceus Legends. Legends Arceus, right? So this was all just fun. A little bit of fun for a video, you know, wanted to get some of this out there because these are real concerns that I have with the game. So just, you know, don't come at me, all right? Don't come for my neck. I love the games. Some things could have been better. So yeah, with that said, y'all know the dealio. Leave your comments down below. Let me know some of your dislikes about the game. What do you think should be in the game? What do you think shouldn't have been in the game? Let me know down below. Comment, start a discourse. That's one of the main reasons I make these videos, to have, you know, conversations with whoever watches them, and for whoever watches them to have conversations with each other. You know, I kind of like that discourse about Pokemon, even though in recent years it's become a little bit toxic, but I still love the discourse regardless, right? So make sure to comment down below. And with that, I'm off for this one, so y'all know what it is. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to slap that like and subscribe for more Pokemon content, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.